बालाद एकम अणियस्कम उतैकम नेव दृश्यते ततः परिष्वजीयसी देवता सा मम priya. Such a wonderful Veda mantra. This is Atharvaveda 10 by 8 by 25. 10 by 8 by 25. This mantra undoubtedly clarifies the Vedic Traitwad. Vedas do not support the present Advaita. There is no Advaita in the Vedic Dharma. In the Vedic Dharma itself there is no Advaita. So whichever books that speaks about the Advaita Vedanta is not part of Vedic Dharma. And Vedic Dharma is called as Sanatan Dharma. So the present Advaita, the present Dwaita, the present Vishishta Dwaita, these philosophies are not part of Vedic Dharma at all. Paramatma speaks about the Traitwad in the Vedas. We must accept the teachings of Paramatma from the Vedas directly. We must not accept the teachings of so-called Acharyas which contradicts to Vedas. Whoever it may be. You can put any Acharya in the name, but if it is contradicting to Vedas, we should not accept it. This is the advice of Paramatma. Stay away from so-called sadhu sannyasis, so-called books written by selfish pandits, so-called Acharyas. An Acharya is a person who follows Vedas in his life and who promotes the Vedic Dharma to the people, who teaches the Vedic Dharma to all the people without discriminating caste or religion, etc. So this mantra very clearly clarifies the Vedic Traitwad, eternal three entities. Eternal means that entity which is neither created nor destroyed. Three entities, three vastus, three matters: Paramatma, Jivatma and Prakriti. The other day one guy was asking that you say that God creates his universe from Prakriti, that means God is dependent upon Prakriti. It's not that God is dependent upon Prakriti. The problem is we want to always do Kutarka. We don't want to do Tarka Vitarka. We always want to do Kutarka. When Paramatma says that there is an eternal entity which is Jad Tattva, which can be controlled by my power, and by controlling that Jad Tattva I create this universe, then we must accept the reality instead of questioning that why Paramatma is dependent upon Prakriti. He is not dependent upon Prakriti. We are dependent upon Prakriti. We want air to breathe. We want water to drink. We want fire to cook our food, etc. We want electricity to sustain our life. Paramatma does not need anything of this. Paramatma is not dependent upon Prakriti. Jivatma is dependent upon Prakriti and Paramatma. So it is for our benefit Paramatma creates this universe, and Paramatma uses the Prakriti because Paramatma has got the power to use the Prakriti. We do not have that power. Yes, we can use Prakriti in a limited sense. For example, there is a pen here. Pen is made from Prakriti, Jad Tattva, it is non-alive. I can drop the pen, I can lift the pen, I can use it for writing. Prakriti made. But I cannot move the sun and moon by my hand. I don't have that much power. So we must understand our limitations and Paramatma's unlimitations, Paramatma's infinite strength and omnipotence and omniscience. So in this mantra, Balad Ekam Aniyaskam Udekam, Paramatma speaks about the three eternal entities. Paramatma says, Ekam Balat, there is one entity which is Balat Aniyaskam. Aniyaskam means it is so much minute than the tip of the hair. Or we take yesterday I shaved and you can see a little bit hair growth is there. Take one hair, it's impossible, but I'm just telling, if you take one hair and then go to the most nanoscopic level, Aniyaskam. Ani means to the tune of atomic level. That entity Ekam, that one entity is so much microscopic, nanoscopic, from which this hair also is made, from this universe is also made. That is one entity, and it is like Balat. Balat means Jad. Bal is Jad, right? Bal, the human hair is Jad. It cannot do anything on its own. It is Jad Tattva, non-alive matter. It grows when the human being is alive. When somebody dies, it does not grow. It is not Chetan Tattva. So Bal, similar to Bal, that Tattva is a Jad Tattva. That matter, that entity is Jad. It's not Chetan. Ani has come. It is so Suksham than Bal. Why Paramatma uses the word Bal? Because for a common man, he can understand what is hair. If you go and ask or discuss with a common man or a child who is 6 years of age who is going to Vedic Gurukul, if you say that there is one thing called as atom, he will not understand what is atom. In the Vedic Dharma, I want to tell this matter information so that for my next videos which will be upcoming on Mandukya Upanishad, Rishi Munis and Paramatma has got a unique style to explain the unknown by known. What is known? Known is hair. What is unknown? Unknown is what is inside or microscopic level of hair. Atoms and protons and neutrons is not known. So by way of known thing, they will explain the unknown thing. Like today also when we educate our kids, we say that this is water. We show the bucket of water and say, see, this is water. This is the water which you are drinking. But the same water is there flowing in the river. Directly if you say river, he may not understand. But you see, this is a small bucket of water. Similarly, the lake is like, they have hundreds of buckets of water. So with the known, you explain the unknown. This is the Vedic Krama. And Rishi Munis also try to explain this kind of concept. So with the Bal, with the known thing, unknown thing is explained by Paramatma. What is unknown thing? Is Prakriti, Jad Tattva. And further Paramatma says, Uta Ekam, there is one more. Uta means and. First is Prakriti, the and. Paramatma uses the word Uta, means and. There is one more entity. What is that? Ekam. That is also another entity. Neva Drishyate. Even the Neva Drishyate, it is unseen. It exists, but it is unseen. There is one more entity which exists, but it is not seen. It is not easily knowable. And what is that entity? That is Jivatma. That is not Paramatma. Paramatma is the third entity which will come in this mantra. The first one is Prakriti. The second one is Neva Drishyate. Nahi dikti hai. You cannot see Jivatma ever. Of course, Prakriti also we cannot see because our eyes and mind and everything is made from Prakriti. We cannot see Prakriti by human eyes. We can infer what is Prakriti by Anuman Praman. We can infer Anuman. From Anuman we can infer Prakriti. From Anuman we can infer that okay, this is how the Srishti Utpatti is happening by Shabd Praman, by Anuman Praman. Pratyaksha Praman impossible. Pratyaksha Praman is possible in Samadhi. When a yogi attains a Samadhi, at that level there is a Pratyaksha which is not seen by eyes, which is realized by a yogi. At that level we can, the yogi would have witnessed what is Prakriti. So the second entity, Uta Ekam Neva Drishyate, that another unseen entity is Jivatma. The third one is Tataha, Usse bhi. Tataha, even that Jivatma is more Suksham than Prakriti. That's why Paramatma is using Neva Drishyate. That Prakriti itself is very Suksham, and more Suksham than Prakriti is Jivatma. And the third entity, Tataha Parishvajiyasi, उससे ही ततः उस जीवात्मा से भी बड़ी सूक्ष्म है, अत्यंत सूक्ष्म, most minute. That what is that? The third entity, Parishvajiyasi. Parishvajiyasi we can say is that is the entity which is all embracing divinity. That entity which is more suksham than Jivatma is embracing us all. And that entity is Sa Mama Priya. That is the most dearest to me. A yogi is explaining in this mantra, or Paramatma is saying that you must pray to me like this, or you must understand me as like this. Sa Mama Priya. Tell that you, Paramatma is teaching to Jivatma that you must tell like this, that Sa Mama Priya, or not telling. We must understand that, see, from the unseen Prakriti, Paramatma has created this universe. After creating the universe, Paramatma creates the human body. After creating the human body, Paramatma puts the Jivatma inside the body. Thereby we are able to listen, we are able to see, we are able to talk and do all our activities. So Paramatma is Mama Priya, Sa Mama Priya. He is the one who is making us to do all these activities, and we do not even have any worth We don't have any respect towards him. We don't even care about him. Who is doing all these things? That's why Paramatma says the third entity, which is Atyant Suksham than Jivatma, is Mama Priya. He is the most Priya Vastu hai. Sabse Priya Vastu hai. Most dearest to me. Most dearest to Jivatma who knows that Paramatma. Most dearest, my Acharya always says, like just a newly married couple, husband and wife, they want lonely time, newly married. They do not want any disturbance in the house. They always like that. That's the reason after marriage they will go for a honeymoon, because they want to spend time alone together for some time due to bodily attractions. My Acharya always says, for a yogi, most Priya Vastu is Paramatma. And for a yogi also, he does not want anybody else in between him and Paramatma. He wants to be in tapasya always. He wants to enjoy the bliss of Paramatma in silence. Just like a newly married couple wants silence. Similarly, a yogi's pati is Paramatma. Yogi's pati is Paramatma. So yogi also wants silence. He and his Paramatma alone. Most dearest. For a Jivatma, the most dearest Vastu is Paramatma. So one Acharya, his name is I think Sudhakar Trivedi, is explaining this mantra. He says, this mantra is the only scientific and rational conception of reality. God is the creator. He is the greatest entity. And he creates the universe for us, Jivatmas, souls. In the order of preference, we occupy the second rank. Jivatma occupies the second rank in the order of preference. Though we are inferior to God, we are superior to matter, because matter is Jad Tattva, we are Chetan Tattva. Then God creates this universe for us out of that matter which is Prakriti. It is third in importance. Heya Koti. Prakriti is not third in importance. So here it is third in importance, but never a non-entity. Advaitavad says that nothing exists, but this mantra clarifies that Prakriti exists. It's not a non-entity. It's a Vastu. It's not an illusion. It is real. That Prakriti is as real as God and Jivatma. But we must understand Prakriti, matter is reality. Jivatma is reality plus consciousness. Paramatma is reality plus consciousness plus bliss. See, Prakriti is reality, souls are reality plus consciousness, and Almighty God is reality plus consciousness plus bliss. Sa Mama Priya. So that is why we must go towards that Paramatma. Sa Mama Priya. See, three eternal entities. All these three are eternal. Satya Padarth, truth. This is called as Vedic Traitwad. Undoubtedly proved in this mantra. So if this fundamental formula is born in our mind, life will become very interesting. Life will become very intuitive and thought-provoking. And also, we can think about enlightenment. Unless and otherwise we understand this Traitwad, we cannot understand life. We cannot understand why Paramatma does all these things. We must understand that Paramatma does all these things for the sake of Jivatma. Jivatma cannot do, I was listening to one Arya Samaj Acharya, he was telling super thing. He was telling that Sare Jivatma milkar bhi, all the billions and trillions and unlimited Jivatma, all the Jivatma cannot even move a seed that does not have that much even power. All the Jivatma. We must, for moving a seed, for taking my phone in the hand, I need power, I need my hand and my mind. And that is why Paramatma creates the universe and say to Jivatma that I have created the universe, utilize the universe to attain me. I am the most dearest to you. Sa Mama Priya. Tell like this, we must do upasana of that Paramatma. Such a wonderful Veda mantra. I thought of making this video. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.